All right, how is everyone doing today? Can you see me? Can you hear me? Can you see my screen? All right. All right, a sandwich. Who doesn't love a good sandwich? Can see and hear me. Okay, that is out freaking standing. That's what I like to hear. Hey, guys, how's everybody doing? All right, let me get rid of this. Okay. All right, we are about 2 minutes to the close, guys, a little under. So we're going to give everyone about 3 minutes to get here, all right? So at the top of the hour here, I will introduce myself for those who don't know me. I always assume we have a full audience of new people. What a day today, man. Great day today. Man, I don't care what kind of trader you are today. Just so many opportunities. I did okay. I mean, I was pretty green. I was very green on the day. I missed a couple of opportunities early in the day, and that kind of messed with me. I had this top up here in the NQ pegged, and I hesitated. And it happens, guys. Listen, here's a little tip, guys, before everybody else piles in at the close. No matter how good you get at trading, you're still going to make some mistakes, right? It's just the mistakes that you make as a more experienced trader aren't crippling, right? They don't kill your account. If you miss an entry here or there, you don't chase it. You wait for the next one. Okay, right? Like that, the little mistakes like that. I'd love to tell you I hit every single trading setup right where it needs to be every single day on every instrument, and that's just not realistic, right, guys? So yeah, no, you're never going to completely eliminate your mistakes, but when you're new, you make so many of them, you can't help but improve and cut down on them, right? So, all right, so everybody let me know, just were you green or red on the day? You don't need to tell me how much, just green or just red. If you passed your eval, I want to know about that. Absolutely. 174 points to the downside. Jose, you get a gold star for today, sir. That's awesome. Okay, all right. So let's let everyone come here. We're going to give everyone about 30 more seconds, and then we're going to get going. We do have some things to cover today, guys. I need to tune my topics to the point where I can go either 15 minutes or 45 minutes on them. You guys were fantastic last week. You guys came in with so many good observations, so many good questions. You guys take the time to be here, so I want to make sure I'm responsive to your questions. One of my biggest pet peeves, right, is where somebody comes in to do an event, right, and maybe they're doing whatever the reason for the event is, or a free event like this, and then they don't take questions, and I hate that. And that was something I always pay attention to what's going on in the education space. I actually tuned into a webinar while I was trading in the afternoon from one of my competitors. Whoa, that was weird. From one of my competitors, and the guy went for, and I didn't hear the whole thing, so maybe he did take questions at some point, but he went on for like an hour and a half and didn't take a single question. All he wanted to do was plug his little algo, and that's fine, right? Like, I'm going to tell you about a little course I've got at the end of this event. I get it, but man, I hate people that don't sit and take questions, right? That really irritates me. So just a little bit of a pet peeve. All right, so let's get going, guys. First of all, before we officially get up and running, I got to put this nice little disclaimer up on the screen for you guys. This presentation is for educational and informational purposes only. So, obviously your trades are your own. Either Blue Sky Trading Company or Teresi's Trading LLC is responsible for doing your trading for you. That's on you guys. But you see a lot of these; they're important. So I'm going to give you just a couple of seconds to read this. And just kind of understand what we've got going on. So for those of you who don't know me, my name is Matt. I'm the head of trading education at Teresi's Trading. I am not officially or employed by Blue Sky. I just come and do these events because I really like these guys. Josh, Raj, Mike, the whole team over there, bunch of fantastic guys. So I really appreciate doing these events for them. And hey, if a couple people want to buy a course or two from me, I certainly don't object to that, right? So I've been in this business long enough, guys. I don't stand on any sort of BS. I just kind of come in, do what I do, and I think people appreciate that, right? And that's one of the things I do appreciate from the ladies and gentlemen here at Blue Sky, is that we kind of do our thing, right? Yeah, complex day. That's a good way of summing it up there, Dragon, right? So first of all, now that everybody's trickling in about 5 minutes or so, and a special thanks to Raj on the controls today. Raj is going to post a link in the room. So we've got a ton of stuff to give away today, guys, right? So Blue Sky is kind enough they're going to be giving away 2 separate $25,000 eval accounts. So we will be spinning the wheel on names for that. I am giving away 2 of my latest micro video course at the end as well. And I'm going to give you information about that. It's a I just started putting these together, these courses, got a really good response on the first one. I'm going to release the second one next week. But for now, this is, I'm going to give away this first one today. So there's so much going on today, guys. I'm really looking forward to it. Now, again, as I said, I had 3 weeks off while I was on vacation, and I came back. And so we're building these events back up again, and we're kind of getting to and past the place we were a couple months ago when we were going on these. Several hundred of you were either attending or watching the replay. First of all, if you're watching the replay, hello from the past. Also, like I said, for those that just came in, I did a little spiel. I hate people who just come in and talk for like an hour and don't take questions and do all that. So I will be checking the chat and I will be taking questions. I've got about 15 minutes of prepared material as far as the 3 stages of building a trading system, and I'll talk about that momentarily. But then I want to get into the markets today, right, guys? Because this is how we learn. When I first got into day trading, so for those of you who haven't heard my entire story, I'll give it to you in about 30 seconds here. Got into trading about 10 years ago. I'm actually past now 10 years as a full-time trader. First 2 were not very good, and then I found some success in large cap options and option type stuff. I worked for TradeStation and ran an options trading room for them for about 2.5 years, and I've worked in trading education for about 8 now. And for about the past 4.5 years, I've been mostly a full-time day trader of futures. Basically what the guys at Blue Sky teach and go from there. So yeah, but anyway, so I've been doing this for a while, and one of the most important things that you can have, the most important things you can have as a day trader is screen time, right? And experiencing a day like today, right? A day like today, experienced traders are going to kill it for the most part, right? And they're going to do well. They're going to, if you're a candlestick trader, you did well. VWAP-based trader, Renko-based trader, a lot of stuff going on today. Inexperienced traders, a market like this can eat people up. And I know some of you said that you were red. That's okay. Guys, listen, I understand that everyone wants to come in and do, crazy numbers right away, right? It's just not realistic, right? Doesn't mean you can't find success fairly early, but it's going to take you 2 to 2.5 years to get really good at this, and that's only if you stick with it, right? And you're able to watch day after day, hour after hour, minute after minute, trade after trade, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Again, that does not mean you can't make some money, fairly early on if you can be disciplined with it, right? But it takes a good 2 to 2.5 years where you're seeing about 500 to 600 days of market action. So you're talking, minimum 2,000 hours, right? Of being able to, and that doesn't count the time spent journaling and all of that, right? So that's basically what it takes to get very good at this, and you'll keep getting better. You'll keep eliminating your mistakes, or at least toning down on them, and you just kind of go from there. So before I get into some of the material where I'm going to talk about how to build a trading system in the 3 phases that I use, does anybody have any questions on the markets today, or something that you noticed, or something that you wanted to point out? Like I said, I had this move pegged, and I just hesitated today. But this is basically a bread and butter pattern for me, right? A candle that moves up and tags the 1 standard deviation line, or it got very close. It got right to the tolerance band that I have on here, followed by a bearish candle signal, right? I mean, that's textbook, right? And I was wrapping up another trade. I was looking at something else. I came in and said, oh, that looks good. My attention wandered for 30 seconds, and guys, I missed the entry. Now, I did catch a couple of things on the downswing, but I hit a couple of doubles today, and I should have hit a home run, right? So that's okay. That's, you go back to the drawing board, you note that in your journal, and you vow to catch the next time. But again, just an absolute textbook reversal pattern here. If you're not familiar with candlesticks, guys, go into eBay, and anything you can get from Steve Neeson, Nison, on candles, this is extremely, extremely valuable. The way to cut the learning curve, screen time. There's no learning curve when it comes to screen time. Like I said, guys, the cool thing is when I first started, even as a swing trader, I was watching the markets most of the day, right? That's what I was doing for a living. Like I said, it took me probably about 3 to 3.5 years to see about every kind of day in the market, right? Your days where the market action is smooth, it's the days it's not, the days that have data, the days that don't, the days that are huge up days, the huge down days. Hell, going into COVID, we saw some limit down days, which hadn't happened in forever, right? Days where the VIX is spiking, but the price action doesn't do anything, right? All these kind of days. And now you get to see all those in about a year, right? The market, every year, the market action and the market cycle gets accelerated. And where it used to take, I live outside the Chicago area, and as I worked for a couple of companies in Chicago, and TradeStation specifically, I made a lot of contacts just within the industry, some friendships, some just people to, the digital Rolodex, as it were. And I've talked to a lot of traders that used to work on the floor, and they say the same thing. And that's kind of where one that actually used to live down the street from me, retired many years ago, says, he said, I pay attention to the markets on a week-to-week basis, and I see stuff. He didn't say stuff, but I see stuff that it used to take years to see, right? Within a week or 2 weeks. So we're living in the golden age of trading, guys, right? You got companies like Blue Sky that make the market so accessible, and with a debit card, a credit card, and a couple of clicks, you can be trading in 5 minutes, and trading with consequences, right? Even if you're not trading your own money, trading in a sim account on an eval, there's consequences. You fail out, you got to reset or buy another one. You pass, you're eventually, if you make it through the Blue Live stage, you're going to be trading your own brokerage account, or Blue Sky's brokerage account, but your name's on it, right? Your name is where the profits go to. So it's something, man. This used to be the barrier to futures trading. The barrier to entry used to be insane, and it's just not anymore, and it's great. But the flip side of that, as I've said many times, is it's people can get in without training, without discipline, and then you can go through quite a few evals before you pass. Very normal to fail out 2, 3, 4, 5 evals, guys. If you're failing out 10, 15, 20, I know some of you have failed out way more than that. Something's got to change, right? I talked to somebody who failed 30 evals the other day. I said, okay, what are you going to do differently on 31? Well, no, it's just my system. No, if you fail 30 times, your system sucks, right? And that's what we're going to talk about today. So I want to, at its best, any trading, day trading, swing trading, options, stocks, futures, crypto, whatever the case may be, okay? Any trading follows basically a very simple, structured pattern, right? Somebody, hold on just a second here, guys. Okay, no, I thought somebody was dinging me on Discord. But every trade that I make, guys, follows what I call a particular setup or a playbook. If you're buying the ES, the NQ, whatever. If you're buying because you think it's going to go up, where's your edge? Where's your, again, I think it's going to go up, I'm going to buy. That's not a setup. Okay, that's a hope and a prayer. Okay, hopium is a very dangerous drug in this business. You can hope for a lot of great setups. Every day I sit down and I, internally say, boy, I hope I get some great setups today. That's fine. But when you're in a trade, say, boy, I hope this goes up. No, you should know it's got a above average chance of going up based on a setup, right? So again, for example, this is a very simple pattern. Let me kind of get really in on this, guys, right? Okay. So again, strong buying candles right here. Nice little selling tail or selling wick that happens to get very close to our tolerance band for the +1 standard deviation off of VWAP, followed immediately by a bearish engulfing candle. Okay? And right there, now, is this a guarantee we're going to go down? Of course not. There's no guarantees in trading, none whatsoever. Okay? Actually, I take that back. The only guarantee in trading is if you go into trading without knowing what you're doing, you're going to get your ass handed to you. It may take you some time, but you're going to get your ass handed to you, right? So bearish candlestick pattern. Now, does that mean that it can't do this? Of course not. In fact, that's going to happen a certain amount of time. Okay, but all I know is in this setup, if I can get a good risk to reward, and this happens more than 50% of the time, that's all I need, 50% of the time, with a 1.5 to 1, 2 to 1 risk, or whatever the case may be, and I'm going to make money. That's all. That's it, right? But this has to be a specific play. Okay, I can't just say, well, I think the markets are going to go down. I have a setup. In fact, I'm making my next micro course on, it's my favorite day trading setup. It's called the RTT trend setup, right? And I followed, when I was evaluating this, I followed it over the course of about 50 trading sessions, and it worked 57% of the time. Okay, may have been a little more or less depending on, because my data wasn't as consistent that I liked, but I watched it every day. I recorded it, and it was 57% of the time with about my starting risk to reward was 1.5 to 1. So for every 30 handles in the NQ I'm risking 15. Or if, again, you can do the math, or 2 to 1, I'm risking 20 to make 40. I heard the only guarantee in this business is going to be another opportunity. Well, that's true. I don't know. The way we're going, this world's going now, freaking thing could end tomorrow, right? So, as long as the sun rises and the market's open tomorrow, I guarantee there's going to be some opportunities. But that's about it, right? Is the VWAP a paid indicator? Well, okay, yes and no. Let me. You must have been the one that asked that question. So as far as the indicators, if you type in, and this is on TradingView, guys, the VWAP. So this is all their paid indicators. I have access to these, and I highly recommend them. But this is the one that I have, and it's a free indicator, the VWAP intraday. Okay, there's a bunch of great VWAP indicators out there, guys. Just test them out. Make sure they give good data, right? Does the engulfing candle need to cover the wick? No, it's just the way I define engulfing candles, which I believe is the textbook definition, is all I'm looking at is where did my drawing tools go? But basically, it's just real body engulfing. Okay. All right, now let me find where the hell my drawing tools went. Oh, I closed it out. Okay. All right, guys. So I want to get into, like I said, I got about 15 minutes of material. Now, when I put these slides up, guys, I can't see, how PowerPoint is basically a fascist program. It completely takes over all your screens. So let me, I can't see the chat when I have this up. So I got about 15 minutes, and then I will catch. So if you type something and it gets run up the screen right now, I will be not be able to see it, so you have to type it again. Okay. So I'm going to talk you through the 3 phases of building a strategy. Okay. Now, there are lots of ways to get a strategy. Okay. For example, like I said, next week I'm going to release my RTT trend course. Okay. It's going to be a short course. It's going to be about $50. It's hopefully you guys really, really like it. But so you're getting that, as I say, out of the box, right? So you buy something, get out of the box. At some point in your trading career, you're going to build your own strategy. Now, maybe you take one of mine that I teach you, and you add something to it. Say, okay, I'm going to add this. I'm going to take away this. Okay, because this fits my trading. I'm a very aggressive trader, guys. So my strategies, you may need to be a little more conservative on them as opposed to aggressive when you first start, right? Or maybe you're somebody who says, gosh, you know what? I'm a hyper aggressive trader. I need to add, even something else. Or you just decide, hey, I'm going to start with a moving average crossover system. I'm working on a EMA ribbon strategy right now that I'll share with you guys in a few weeks when I have a little more data on, okay? And whatever the case may be, okay, there's 3 phases that these follow, okay? Phase 1 is observation and scanning, okay? Now, quick word. I know people can do back testing on a lot of things. I have, people that I don't have a really good, back testing system or stuff on my own. I have people that I pay to help out with that. And so, but there's, if you can run certain back testing, maybe you got trade ideas or something like that, that's great. Okay. I have found sometimes that can be a little misleading though, because sometimes there's certain indicators that it's tough to program things. So what I actually do is I do back test just to get an idea of what I'm looking at, but I also just sort of test in real time, right? So for example, if I'm doing like a moving average crossover system, I can look at that at the end of the day and say, okay, the setup fired off 3 times, 2 times would have been a winner. Okay, let me write that down, right? Or at the end of the day, boy, this fired off 10 times, 8 would have been a winner. This would have been a great day. Or it fired off 5 times and boy, it was 0 for 5. I don't know about this, right? You're observing it, you're scanning for it. You're whatever the case may be, you're just seeing. You're not even necessarily worried hard and fast about rules or hard and fast about risk reward. All you're doing during this at the very beginning of phase 1 is just saying, does this work? That's it, guys. That's the only question you're asking in phase 1. Does this work, or does this look like it has a pretty good chance of working? Right? Then, but again, this can take several weeks. Especially, again, you need minimum probably 80 to 100 setups to start getting, and not even that small sample size, guys, right? Like, I'd prefer 1,000, but sometimes that's really tough to get on a system that maybe only fires off 5 times a day, right? But I would say to start with at least 100 potential setups, and at that point, understanding, okay, for let's say a 1.5 to risk reward. So let's say the RTT setup is specifically for the NQ, guys. I know a lot of you guys like to trade that, so I'm looking at that saying, okay, on every trade, if I'm risking 20 to make 30, does it work? Okay. And then I know, gosh, no, that would have been 0 for 3 today. Ooh, 4 for 5 today. Boy, that would have been great, right? And I'm accumulating data to the point where after about 100 setups, if it's 40 to 45%, I'm okay with that. I can work with that. If it's 30, no, I'm done at that point. If it's 50 or higher, no, now we got a party, right? If it's 40, I'm going to look at a couple of things to say, okay, if I add this condition or this trigger or this checklist item, does that take it from 40 to 50, right? And you're seeing, guys, this can be a lengthy process. This part of the process can take 6 weeks. It can take 6 months, which is why I have about 5 setups that I consistently trade, guys, every day. I've got 3 in development right now. One of them is in this phase 1. Okay, and this is the life of a trader, guys, constantly evaluating setups, constantly seeking out new tools to tweak your current setups. One of the best pieces of advice I got in this business early on was from a day trader who worked in another room, which is long since gone, and he said, I watch this guy make thousands every day, and and I worked for that company for a little while, so I talked to him about it. He said the only constant is change in this business. He said the setups that I use now, I wasn't using 5 years ago, and the setups I was using 5 years ago, I'm not using now. Maybe some are just tweaks or continuations of those strategies, and some I've thrown out, in the toilet because they just flat out don't work anymore, right? So constantly evaluating setups, constantly adding tools to your tool chest, whether it's just an indicator that doesn't work in a strategy right now, but you're going to keep it down the line. Guys, if you're not quite sure where to start on indicators or how to read charts, I have 2 recommendations. Learn candlesticks, learn them up and down, back and forth, sideways, inside out, everything, okay? And learn VWAP. Volume weighted average price. Those are 2 great places to start. And so many other strategies. Almost every one of my strategies is based on one, if not both of those 2 things. And those 2 things can really help you. Again, what's the beginning of being a profitable trader is just looking at a chart in real time and saying, okay, here's what I think is going to happen next. Okay. Or here's based on, I shouldn't say think, I apologize. Based on what I've seen in the past, here's what I see is going to happen next. You're not going to be right 100% of the time, and that's okay. All right. So then let's say after 100 setups, 150 setups, okay, we've got something now. Now we go to phase 2, rules development and active paper trading. Okay, so for me, I will then write down the rules. Guys, any trading setup should have rules. Okay, again, not just because it's going to go up. Oh, I think it's going to go up. I think it's going to go down. We're breaking support. Okay, that's great. Give me rules. Okay. Give me a specific setup. Tell me what the checklist is. Give me the entry trigger. Let me know what the profit target is and the stop loss is. Guys, 90%. If you hear nothing else in this hour, guys, hear this. 90% of the work you do in a trade is done the moment you hit the buy button or sell button. The moment you enter the trade, 90% of your work is done. Okay, you've researched the setup. You know the setup backwards and forwards. You know the instrument that you're trading. Okay, and within a minute, actually within 30 seconds of entering that trade, if you didn't already put a bracket on it, you should have a stop loss in the market and at least a half profit target in the market. right? So for example, if I'm risking 20 handles in the NQ to make 30, I'm going to put my full stop loss in at 20, and I'm going to put a half profit target at 30, and then we'll go from there. Anybody who didn't have those in place today when Tradeovate took a dump, boy, you got a lesson, didn't you? Now, I know, there's companies working with people on that, and I know ultimately that's not your fault. But guys, what if your internet goes out, right? What if you're in a trade, you have no stop loss set, and let's say you're in a funded account here at Blue Sky. You've made it through the eval, you've made it through Blue Live, you've built up $10,000 in profit in your brokerage account, and you're looking forward to withdrawing that, right? That's a down payment on a new car, and you were ready to go, okay? And you say, okay, I'm just going to trade today. You put one trade in, okay? You don't set a stop, power goes out. What the hell are you going to do then? Okay. Now, yes, in brokerage accounts, in live brokerage account, in my personal brokerage account, I have it attached to my monitor, a phone number of the trade desk there, right? And I've only had to use it once. They picked up in 30 seconds. The execution took about 20 seconds after that. So less than a minute after my internet went out, I exited all positions. Okay. So again, I know it's not fair when something like that goes out, but if you didn't have a stop in and it took out your account today, lesson learned. Okay. It sounds harsh. That sounds shitty to say, right? But lesson learned. All right. So in rules development and active paper trading, so first of all, you're writing down your rules. Now, these rules are not set in stone yet. You're making adjustments. You're adding indicators. Again, for like my RTT system, I look at the advanced decline number, the ADD. I'm looking at the VIX. I'm looking at a lot of market internals, right? And those have been added. Okay. Then you're actively paper trading it. Okay, this is actually where some of these, again, if you're like me, I trade my personal account. So, hey, Matt, what use do you have for some of these, funded trader programs? Actually, I've used a number of them over the years, Blue Sky included, to test out strategies that I want to do, right? To pay $100 to test a strategy over a month. And if it works, boy, it's already in an account, right? The one I traded Blue Sky did not work. So that's perfectly okay. That's the cost of doing business, right? And that's basically what I do with paper trading. So I will replace active paper trading with just trading without your money, right? Don't test out, if you're in a Blue Sky funded brokerage account, don't test out new strategies there. Either just do it on paper, sign up for the 25K eval when it's on a sale and test it out there, right? Okay. So at this point, this whole phase 1 and 2 combined, again, can take from 3 to 6 months if you're doing doing it right and getting what the data that you need out of it. And then we move to phase 3, scale up live trading. The first 2 words in that, guys, are the most important. Scale up. Okay. So true story. I worked with a gentleman. The first place I worked was a small little kind of boutique education firm, long since out of business, but my job when I first got there, because I was just becoming profitable when they hired me, because I had a background in teaching and coaching. And so my job was not to teach the strategies and do all that. It was to basically give a pep talk to anyone who blew out accounts, right? Or to work with them on position sizing, things like that, right? And I talked to a gentleman, and this was an options trade, or small cap stocks, which you want to talk about the wild friggin' west. Holy cow. So this guy showed me his trade journal, and I would not have believed him if he didn't show me the journal, right? Within his brokerage, he had a 78% winning percentage, and he was losing $12,000 a month on average over the course of about 6 months, right? Thankfully, he had a couple $100,000 in account, but he still took a huge chunk out of that. So how was he doing that? Okay. So I talked to him and I said, okay, I'm looking at your trades on paper. Okay, you're trading the strategies that we teach. I see you had three months of success on paper. Okay, and I said, so then you moved into live trading. You actually had some success, a little bit of success in month 1, right? He's like, yeah. So he didn't properly scale up. He went from, now we're small cap stocks. We're talking, $2 stocks. Okay, so 100 shares of that is $200, right? It's not a lot. These things get traded in sometimes 10K lots. Well, he did what we suggested, which is he went from paper trading to just 50 to 100 shares. Very small. Thing goes to zero, you're out, a few $100, which sucks, but you're fine. He went from 100 shares in 1 month to 25,000 shares the next month, right? So you're watching tick by tick, which you shouldn't do on swing trade. Well, you really shouldn't even do them on day trades, right? If you have your stop and your profit target in. But So he went from, and again, he couldn't handle seeing the red on the screen, so he's bailing out before his stop losses, right? And so it's just death by 1,000 paper cuts. It was pretty miserable. Okay, so. And I have a whole thing I do on these guys. We just don't have the time to get into it. My talk just on this lasts about 2 hours. But we're observation and scanning, rules development and active paper trading, and scale up live trading. Okay, so from the idea and the first observation to full-size trading should be 6 to 9 months. Now, I know most of you aren't going to do that. All right, I know my audience. I know who I'm talking to. Most of you will try to put this through in about 2 weeks. Okay. But this is what you need to do. Okay, now, yes, if you take a course of mine or learn one of Mike's strategies or all that kind of stuff, it's right there for you. You still need to paper trade that to start with, just so you get an idea of the setup and the system, get comfortable with the risk to reward, et cetera, et cetera. Okay, so that's sort of a 10,000-foot view of that, guys. Now, let me catch up on the chat. Okay. Yeah, you can get that giveaway link up now, Raj, if you would like. So, guys, I'm going to just talk for a minute here. They're going to put up a link in the chat, and it should get sticky to the top. This is where you sign up for the giveaway. Again, for those that were not here at the very beginning, we've got 4 things we're giving away today. Number 1 is a $25,000 eval account with Blue Sky. Number 2 is that exact same thing. They're giving away 2 this time. The third is one of my courses that I'm going to be talking about in about 15 minutes. And 4 is that same course, right? So I'm giving away 2 things. Blue Sky's giving away 2 things. All right, so there is the link, guys. You see Blue Sky Trading Company, the giveaway. Jumping from strategy to strategy, probably reason why most fail. Yes, one of the reasons. Guys, I could give you a top 50 reasons why people fail out evals, right, or struggle in their accounts. All right, it's sticky to the top, guys, so you're going to have about 15 minutes to sign up. Okay, so while I'm kind of doing this in between time before I get into some of the other stuff here, now's the time. Click on that link, go sign up. You can only enter once. Okay, I want to emphasize that. If you click on that and put your name in there twice and we catch you, you will be disqualified from that, and you will be disqualified from all other further giveaways. All right, so I was not as clear on that last week, so that starts this week. That's my rule. If somebody doesn't like it, they can take it up with me. All right, so again, you enter once for all 4. And so somebody wins the first one, they get off the wheel. You can only win one thing per week. But you can win every week, right? I think we've had somebody win a couple of times so far. Bounced around strategies for 3 years. I've settled on futures but struggled with consistent growth. Well, you said bouncing around strategies for 3 years, but you've settled on futures. Okay, so are you bouncing around asset classes or are you bouncing around strategies or both? Yeah, guys, you really got to zero in on something. Honestly, with futures now, there's no reason, in my opinion, to start trading anything else right now, right? Because none of these, I know some are talking about eventually doing like stock day trading accounts, but to my knowledge, nobody is right now. So this is a great, again, guys, on a, for a 25K eval with Blue Sky, I think they're running 40% off right now. What's that, like $80, $70, $80? That's all it takes to get you in. Now, let me say something here, guys, okay? No, the winner will be announced here, guys. It will be announced here. I will spin the wheel. You will see it live. Okay, we do that for transparency purposes. Okay. Yeah, we'll do that. We will do that at 4:50 Eastern-ish, give or take. Did options, did swings, did small caps? Boy, yeah, that was sort of my. I did it the opposite way, right? I had small caps and I was basically break even after almost 2 years. I lost a ton of money, gained some back. I hated looking at like the 13D filings and shelves and offerings. Honestly, no offense to anybody who's still in it. Small caps small caps are basically crypto before there was crypto. As shady as that world is, right? Yeah, get in from $82. Now, guys, I will say this. The data that comes with these evals, and it's not just Blue Sky, it's any company that's out there, sometimes can be a little limited. I really recommend people invest in their own kind of trading platform, even if you don't like connect to a brokerage account, right? Like I have TradingView up here, guys, and I pay a few bucks a month for some decent data through them, right? But I don't trade through here. I trade through Edge Pro X, which is connected to my brokerage account. All right, so yeah, I would. I always recommend having a backup platform or just something that has different tools. I love TradingView, guys. Even though I don't trade through it, I really like it. But if you can get access to level 2 data, that's always something that's pretty important to look at the DOM if you're a DOM trader. So, all right. So let me open the floor, guys. Just while everyone's signing up here, I'll take a couple of quick questions. If you got any questions in the markets today or anything on the 3 phases. Jamie, I got you. Josh isn't here. Let me see if I can get into the thing here and figure it out. Oh, it's just a link to sign up. Okay. All right, they'll send me the names in a minute, but yeah, you're good. I mean, no, Jamie, you're banned for life. Get out of here. Never come back. No, I'm kidding, of course. Yeah, well, listen, again, find out who you are as a trader. Spend a month or two just like figuring out, are you a candlestick trader? Listen, you can be multiple things. Are you a DOM trader? Are you a candlestick trader? Are you a heat map trader? Are you a Renko trader? It's fine to, guys, get in, trading is a glorious buffet. Get in there. Don't load your plate up on one thing. Everybody knows the buffet thing, right? You go up, you get a little bit of a lot of things, and then you take your second run up there and grab everything that you like. Honestly, like I said, guys, for those that missed this at the very beginning, if you're overwhelmed, you have no clue where to start, candlestick setups and VWAP-based stuff, right? I mean, that's really all I have on this. I have ATR down here, which I use just for volatility purposes and to help with my stop losses. But I basically just have candlesticks, and all of these lines are VWAP based, right? And then I have the little. This is a great tool, guys. If you learn candlesticks, let me pull this up here. Where is it? Yeah, this is just candles is what it's called. It's a free indicator in. TradingView, and it labels these candles, right? Now you don't trade every candlestick pattern, right? But like for example, here, guys, where did my drawing tools run? Oh, there they are. Like for example, we declined here, and you're asking yourself, where's the next move, right? Okay, we consolidated here. Well, bearish Harami, bearish engulfing. We already tested this. Boom. That's going to happen in at least based on my trading more than 50% of the time, right? When you have an area of consolidation and you get multiple bearish candlestick signals, especially when we're below VWAP, we're even below the -1 standard deviation band on VWAP, I'm going to take this short every time, and I did, right? So, again, that's a great place to start. No, you don't need to receive email for giveaway. I will spin all that in a minute. The link is sticky to the top, guys. Right at the top of the chat, it's in yellow. It says Blue Sky Trading Company. It's black text and a yellow background. Giveaway with an here. It's right there. Okay. Yeah, it's pinned up there. Can't figure out how to click a sticky link, guys. Maybe trading isn't for you. I'm kidding. Not really. I like to give everyone a hard time. That's guys, I will say this: that being able to, again, one of my teachers when I was really little said something that stuck with me. He says, "Take what you do very seriously, but don't take yourself seriously." Right? Anyone who comes into this, I don't care how good you are with a massive ego, the market always humbles. Right? Just acknowledge when you do some dumb stuff, because we all do it, and just go from there. I don't think you get an email in this, guys. I don't think they send you an email when you... Raj can correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think you get an email when you sign up. Hey, Blue Sky's email stuff is good, guys, right? Like I'm on a bunch of... I have a dummy email account that I sign up for everything in the world trading related. Some of these idiots hit you like 9-10 times a day with marketing emails. I get like 2 a week from Blue Sky. And I mean, there's always it's talking about this event, or it's talking about a discount, right? That's great. Yeah, no, trading is brutal, guys. It's trading is simple, but it's not easy, right? For us as retail traders, guys, I know there's some people out there that have 40,000 lines on their charts. And honest to God, if they're profitable traders, more power to them. I mean, you see my chart here, guys. It's very clean, right? I got a few colors that help me kind of assess things, but that's about it, right? Some people have 40 moving averages on their. Okay, again, it's not for me to say those words. If somebody's consistently profitable, whatever they're doing is right for them, and consistently profitable over years, not have a hot week or a hot month, right? The amount of people in this business that I've seen, it was interesting. There were so many new, and I put this in air quotes, guys, if you see me on the screen, educators that came out after COVID, right? Because after the initial COVID crash, what happened? Everything went up indefinitely, right? For a couple of years. The buy the dip educators looked like geniuses because every dip was bought. Well, about early 2022, maybe not so much anymore, right? And a lot of those people are gone because they didn't learn how to trade in different market conditions, right? You don't see the yeah. Let me look at that here. Is it this one here? It might be this one here. All candlestick patterns. I think that's what it is. Let me hold on. It just says candles. Let me get everything off here and let's see if I can figure it out, because that's a good question. No, this is a different one. Oh, there it is. So it's just this one, I think. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's I don't know, even this one's different. I don't know, guys. I mean, the patterns are. If I can share a template, I can share a template with you guys, but yeah. Oh, listen, MTV, that's a constant in this business, right? Listen, you don't really know, right? Like I made the mistake one time of because somebody said, "Oh, well, show your statement," right? And I did. This was about 5 years ago. I literally logged into it on screen for him and showed him. I'm never doing that again. But like, oh, it's photoshopped. It's live in a browser. People see what they want to see. They hear what they want to hear. That's why all I'm going to say this, guys, is for any tool or anything like that, like this event, you're here for free. All right. So you're going to get a sense of who I am. So like I said, in about 5 minutes, I'm going to tell you about a course I got. All right. So you can choose to get in or not get in on that based on, this hour or, the multiple hours you've seen of me in the past. That's really about it in this business. I mean, never pay $5,000 for a mentorship program if you've never spent any time one-on-one with the individual, right? Like that's, I guess that kind of goes without saying. A lot of those programs are dying out, which I'm very happy to see. Oh, click on the curly braces. Okay. Candles. There you go, if that helps, guys. I know it's free. I don't pay for anything on here. I had access to the VWAP stuff from my buddy who's on that site, but that's it. All right, guys, so let me just take a minute, and I want to tell you, one of the things that is challenging for me as an educator, it used to be, guys, if I'm teaching somebody how to, like, again, I worked for the education subsidiary of TradeStation for about 2.5 years before they shut it down, and I taught options. I taught swing trading options. Everybody coming to me was coming to me from a very similar place, right? They were typically over 50, had at least, $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 to trade with, right? And wanted to have, slowly but steadily increase that. Although options obviously can be risky. And so I knew who I'm talking to. And in this environment, I don't always know that. Okay. So what I've done actually is I've tried a lot in the last year, and this was at least the most successful thing I've done so far, is rather than sell courses that are 5 hours long and charging $400 to $500 for them, I am in the process of creating about 8 what I'm calling micro courses. Mini micro, you get that? The futures, haha, laugh a little. Short courses, all of them are 1 to 2 hours. They cover something very specific, and I charge basically next to nothing for them, right? So I talked, for those that were here before I was on vacation, we talked about this one, and I've been getting great reviews on it so far. It's the 25 rules of day trading, guys, right? So the videos are 86 minutes long, okay? But I'm also including my trading as a business class with this, which is about 2 or 3 hours long. And guys, I'm charging $29 for it, okay? So it's what, about a third of a cost of a reset, or a little more, but less than half, right? And so there's going to be a number of these coming out. They're all going to be under $50, and you're going to be able to grab what you want. And I'm going to put the link in here for this, guys, but don't. Something else you've never heard anyone in my business say: don't buy it yet, right? Because we're going to give away 2 of them. I don't want somebody who bought it to, but I am going to put the link. Well, actually, I probably can't post links in here, can I? Just a second here, guys. If it won't let me post that, I'm going to send it to Raj to post. All right. I don't know if. Yes. Also subscribe, like the stream. That is a requirement. So we're going to draw here in about 3 minutes, guys. This is your 3-minute warning. So they're going to send me the names. Raj, I don't think that posted. Okay, I just sent the where you can sign up for this course to Raj. He'll put it in the stream here once we're done with the giveaways. Giveaways are in 2 minutes, guys. 2-minute warning. So these Thursday things are a regular thing, guys. We're going to do them every Thursday. And so there's some more opportunities coming to learn from me. I mean, obviously, guys, you got Mike Day trading in here every day. I'm going to start making a few more appearances here or there. There's no excuse to not broaden your trading knowledge, right? So, and guys, you're going to see a lot of examples and some of the things that I do. This should be all you need to know, guys, right? I trade very different from Mike. We both make money. That's all you need to know, right? You don't have to trade like me. You don't have to trade like Mike. You don't have to trade like somebody else. Sure, you can learn from. I hope you do. And you may gravitate more towards this style or this style. That's okay. Just, honest to God, guys, be patient with yourselves in this business. Be really patient with yourself. If you're still struggling after 2 years, you need to go back to the drawing board and figure things out. If you're within 2 years and you're still struggling, 6 months and you're, no offense, guys, I'm not shed a tear for anyone struggling for 6 months, right? It took me 18 months before I started seeing any consistent profits, and it was 2+ years before I was back to zero, like in terms of profit, right? I lost 40 grand my first year trading. It took me a year and a half to get that back, okay? So I was sitting there about 2 years and 3 months into my trading career, and I was break even. I'm just stubborn enough to keep going, guys, and now I sit here. So that's really all you need to know. Okay. So all right, Raj, if you could send me when I click on that form link you sent me, it just takes me like I'm filling out the form. If you want to send me a link to the actual where everyone was signing up, and I will get ready to, guys, we are about to spin the wheel o' names. I'm going to put this up here just so you guys can see that. And then after we spin, guys, I've got a few more minutes. I'm going to stick around and take a few more questions. We will go to the top of the hour. Okay, good question. You trade AM or PM or just depends on the market conditions? Largely, it depends on the market conditions, but about 70% of my trades happen before lunch, Antonio. that answers your question. I'm on Central Time, so the market's open for me at 8:30. Between 9 o'clock and 11:30 Central Time, so 10 and 12:30 Eastern Time, I make almost every one of my trades. Occasionally, I'll grab one. I grabbed a couple in the afternoon. I took 2 trades in the afternoon. It was very unusual for me. I think it was between the one was a slight loser, one was a decent winner. I was like plus 150 after 2 of them, so it's like, you know. Do I live stream trading? I don't. I do, like for some clients, I will do some live streams. I don't have a regular thing set up. I prefer to just trade in the mornings, to be honest with you guys. If you guys are interested in that, I can look into maybe, I'm not going to do it every day, I'll tell you that. More power to Mike for having the patience and the understanding to do all that. I'm so zoned into what I'm doing, guys. I used to do an options trading room, and that was great. Swing trading, right? So I can, you're making maybe 1 or 2 trades during that. So I'm okay. Let me get the document all pulled up here, guys. Okay, Raj, this is blank, man. Oh, scroll down. Okay. Oh, there we go. Wow, that started late. Okay. YouTube. Okay, we're going to go by YouTube username. Hey, Ivan, you're signing up a bunch of times, man. We talked about that. All right, they may have... Okay, I think we're okay. But if Ivan comes up, he's disqualified. All right, guys. So we've got 4 giveaways. Again, let's refresh everybody here. Where's my chat box? There we go. Okay. Jasper, I'll answer your question when we're done. So the first 2 spins of the wheel, these are for $25,000 giveaways, eval giveaways, not cash. That would be great, right? So the first 2 spins of this wheel, you will win a $25,000 eval account, a 1-month subscription to that, with Blue Sky. You don't need to do anything. Raj will reach out to you via either Discord or email and set you up. Okay? So we have 2 spins of the wheel for that. Let's spin the wheel. All right, His Ahmed, 1564. You are the first winner. So congratulations to you. Okay, I'll assume Raj has got that one. All right, so we're going to spin for the same prize one more time. Okay, JT. Congratulations. Okay, so we have 2 more spins. These are for the course that I just mentioned, guys, right? And I will reach out to you via email in the next 24 hours to, let me get my pen and pencil so I can write this down. And you will get the 25 Rules of Day Trading course for free. Don't thank me, JT. Thank the wheel. Crypto Underdogs. Congratulations. So I will reach out to you via email in the next, probably tonight, later tonight. And this is also for a course. Take 5 for the Sunrise 86. Let me write this down. All right, guys, congratulations. So for the rest of you, if you are interested, guys, if you enjoyed this and you want to see more, you want me to put more of these courses together, feel free to grab this one. So it's $29, right, for an hour and a half of videos. I will put the link again. I'm also going to put the link to this course in the Discord, guys, just so it's there in case it didn't show up. All right, so guys, in the futures chat channel of Blue Sky, you can see right here. That's where you can grab this course. I will stick around for a couple more minutes with questions, guys. Hey, that's great, Chris. Hey, and keep showing up. You're eligible to win again. Win again next week. All right. So last call for questions, guys. Yeah, don't ask people to share stuff, guys. If I'm trying to get $10,000 for something and being greedy, this is basically I do this, guys, and the money I get at the end of the year, I use for vacation, and this is most definitely a side hustle because I really do enjoy this stuff. But I do hope that he takes the course, enjoys it, and recommends it, right? How do you approach Fridays? That's a good question. Honestly, okay, there's really two parts to this question. Do I approach Fridays differently? Yes and no, okay? In general, I do not trade on Friday afternoons. I try to be done with everything by noon on Friday, just to be done, right? Now, if it's been a little bit of a week, I'm scuffling a little bit, maybe I'm going to try and see if I can catch, one or two decent trades Friday afternoon, just to kind of bring my P&L a little bit. Of course, you risk then bringing it down further. But the Friday mornings up until noon, I treat it exactly the same as everything else, right? It's another trading day. But like I said, once we get out of the first 2 hours on Friday, and especially if it's been a long week, and sometimes longest weeks are when you're really profitable, guys, right? There's sometimes it's just you just want to be done, and so it's nice to, especially in the summer up here in Chicago. If I'm done at noon, I will take my lunch out on the patio and just kind of relax and wind down, right? But yeah, it's in general, before noon I treat it like every other day, but afternoon it depends. But that's a good question. How do you handle fat finger mistakes? Correct them, right? Like if I get in, and this happens, right? Like the other day, I meant to get in 5 micros. I was in 5 minis. What did I do? I got out of the trade. Thankfully, ended up actually profitable on it, like by $100. But if you didn't mean to do something, correct the mistake. End of story. If you meant to get in 5 micros and you got in 10 micros, well, get out of 5, right? The link to the course is not valid, really? Should be. Yeah, I posted it in the futures chat channel of Blue Sky. Right there. Right under the memes. Okay, yeah, it works in the thing there too. Appreciate that, Rush. All right, one more question. Oh, Jeffrey, and this won't count as a question. How will I know when you release the RTT? I will tell you. I will put it in the Discord. Here, guys, I'm going to put the link to my Discord in as well. Now, I don't do much. My Discord's more of a bulletin board. It's not like an active chat thing. So I'm not trying to take anyone out of the Blue Sky server during the day. That's where you need to be. But I will put that under the link in But I do occasionally. I haven't done them for a while, but I'm going to start again next month. Do my own like free events, right, guys? Yeah, there we go. So you can hop in there. But it's just like, you know, Teresias Trading, guys, my company. It's me. I don't have any employees. It's just I do everything. So it all moves kind of slow, which is how again, this is a side hustle for me. You know, I'm lucky if I make 10% per month in education what I do in my trading. All right, one more question and we will call it a day, guys. Let me also say, you know, and you guys are great. I'm preaching to the choir a little bit here, but when you go to events like this, guys, and somebody's asking for questions, make sure you ask them. I know right now there's some of you sitting out there wanting to ask a question. Maybe you're embarrassed. Maybe you're a little nervous. Maybe it's like, well, this seems pretty basic. Closed mouths don't get fed, guys. Ask questions. Okay, I had some questions I asked early on in my career. It maybe seemed a little embarrassing at the time, but you know what? I got answers to them. Do you automate trades? I do not. Everything I do is manual. And that counts. All right, guys. So thank you very much for this event. I will be back next Thursday. I have a couple really fun things to talk about next Thursday. So stay tuned on that. And yeah, I don't know how to share stuff there. I'll be happy to if I can share that. I will play around with that. Maybe either send me a direct message via Discord or reach out to me in my server, and we'll go from there. So thanks, everyone, for being here this week. Really hope those of you that won the course enjoy them. I hope those that you didn't, I hope you give a chance at it for $29. Can't go wrong there. And yeah. So everyone have a great rest of your day. Thank you. Keep trading green. You'll get there. And I will see you next week.